Last but certainly not least, we have Geshe Gunela, who will be sharing his insights on today's discourse of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama.
Good afternoon, everybody. So today I am going to speak about the four principal commitments of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. So before I begin my talk, I would like to say thank you to the organizers who have given me an opportunity to speak. And I feel that, I think I'm the only one lecturer who is speaking here, and I feel that I'm taking away the students' platform. So anyhow, now coming back to the topic, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he has said that we have traveled a long journey from Stone Age to the Atomic Age, and we have reached to the peak of the highest development. But still today we have a lot of challenges, we have a lot of problems in our world. So what are the challenges? What are the problems? So first thing that, first challenge is the increasing and enormous human population. This is a big challenge. Then the second challenge is the gap between the rich and poor. So morally it is not wrong, but practically it is also the source of problem. Then the third challenge is the religious disharmony. Today we can see there are so many civilization conflict. You can see many communal violence in the name of religion. It is also a very unfortunate thing. Then the fourth one is the environmental degradations. Today the basic necessities of our survival, like a fresh air, clean waters, all are being polluted. Then the last challenges is the violence in the form of war, violence in the form of terrorisms. So in an early time, people used to fight each other to capture the territory, to become more powerful. But today, violence and war become a trade and business. So if you want to prevent the war, that means that you have to stop this massive productions of the weapon industry, which is not possible, which is not going to happen. So, in order to face these, challenges, His Holiness Dalai Lama said that there is a basic cause of all these challenges. So what is the basic cause of all these challenges? His Holiness said that, the basic cause of these challenges is a decline of human ethics and human value. So therefore, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he decided to make four commitments. The first commitment is as a human being. So he feels that he has to dedicate his entire life with the full capacity to upgrade, restore and promote the human value with the ethical way of life. Then, second commitment is as a religious leader or the Buddhist monk. So, he has to devote himself to bring a religious harmony in our society. So religious harmony, here it means that, he or she has to promote the religious mind, or he or she has to lead the religious life. Then the third, commitment, as a Tibetan or the leader of the Tibetan people, so he has to work on the resolutions of the Tibetan issue. At the same time, he has to, preserve the Tibetan language, Buddhist culture and heritage, and also he has to protect the Tibetan plateau, Tibetan, environment, which is the source of water to the entire Asian countries. Tibet is the third pole. So all these biggest, largest rivers, they are coming from Tibet, and millions of Asian people, their life is heavily depending on this, on Tibet's water. So then the latest commitment, His Holiness the Dalai Lama said that I have to preserve and promote the ancient Indian wisdom. Ancient Indian wisdom, here it means that, Indian classical philosophical tradition, and also the Indian healing systems like Ayurvedic, traditions, and also the Indian arts and architectures, Indians, music and performing of arts. So these are the relevant to the today's world. So, what are the things that His Holiness has taken action regarding his commitment? To promote the human value, His Holiness has written so many books. I'm not going to speak all of them, so I'm going to share only few books. First is The Art of the Happiness, published in the 1998. Then the second is the Ethics for the New Millennium, published in the 1999. And third is the Beyond Religion, published in the 2011. This book became very, very famous, and also it became the categories of the bestseller in the world. So His Holiness also introduced some practical working system. His Holiness has taught us the universal responsibility. Through that way, the foundation for universal responsibility was born in 1990. So this foundation, they have formulated a course and curriculum. They are providing a workshop, seminar, dialogue to the entire European country. This became very famous. Then His Holiness the Dalai Lama taught the secular ethic. Through that way, Emory University, it has launched a new program which is called the C Learning, Social, Emotional, Ethical Learning. These two courses become, these two programs become a very, very famous. The C Learning program, it is adopted by so many countries. So these two programs, actually it is very feasible, very accessible, and very suitable to the entire world at the present age. So there is another program which is brought by the indigenous people from the 7 different nations from the South America and Canada. So this program also providing the dialogues, seminars and conference and workshop. They have also organized 2 or 3 conference, 2 or 3 workshop in Dharamsala. So if you look at His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, each and every single day, more than 200 peoples are coming to visit His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and he is sending a message of love and compassion. Through that way, he has been trying to promote the human value. So in terms of the second commitment, regarding the religious harmony, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has written a book which is called Towards a True Kinship of the Faith, which is published on the 2010. And also, frequently His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he has been meeting to the top spiritual leaders. He has met the, Christian popes. He has met this Mother Teresa, and he has met the Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And we have experienced, we are the witness that a friendship between His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu's a very prominent one. And His Holiness Dalai Lama has met so many Muslim leaders. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama has met so many Hindu leaders. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama met so many Sikh, leaders. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama met many Jewish leaders. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he has recommending to us, we have to study about the inter-religious subject. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he is visiting to the holy sites from the all different major religions tradition. He visited to the temples, he visited to the churches, he visited to the mosques, And also His Holiness the Dalai Lama encouraging us to pay a visit to the holy sites from all these major tradition religion. So, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and also, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he has attended to so many inter-religious, conferences, and he has attended to so many, inter-religious prayer in India and across the globe. In terms of the third commitment, to preserve the Tibetan language, Buddhist culture and heritage. Since His Holiness the Dalai Lama come to India, he has met the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, and he requested Jawaharlal Nehru to establish a separate school for the Tibetan children, that he can provide the modern education. At the same time, he can provide the education of Tibetan language, Buddhist culture and heritage. So therefore, today we can see the Central Schools for Tibetan, CST school, then the TCV school, Tibetan Children Village, and also you can see the Masuri homes. At the college level, today you can see the Central University of Tibetan Study in Varanasi, and also the Sara College in Dharamsala, Dalai Lama Institution for Higher Education here in Bangalore. And if you go to the Tibetan settlement, you can see all these monastic universities. So if you look at this Tibetan schools, Tibetan colleges, Tibetan monastic university, they have been providing education not only to the Tibetan, they are providing education to the Himalayan people, Mongolian people. And if you go to the Western countries like European countries, American countries, you can see so many Buddhist centers. We have opened Buddhist centers like Chinese restaurants across the globe. So these Buddhist centers, we have been offering a course of the Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist epistemologies, and Buddhist science, Buddhist psychology to the entire world. So in terms of his last, latest commitment to revival the ancient, Indian knowledge and ancient Indian tradition, His Holiness Dalai Lama decided to establish a new institution or new center. He has already, inaugurated this center in Bodh Gaya, Dalai Lama Center for Tibetan and Indian Ancient Wisdom. That's all. Thank you.